Everybody, this is Vince DelMonte at VinceDelMonteFitness.com, and I got a great question here on deloading. Today we're going to talk about how to deload properly. And this is a really important tool to incorporate into your training, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced training. And I'm going to share with you guys some protocols on how to do this. So this question came from Awiz Ahmed from my fan page. Is deloading important, and should I deload by taking a week off from gym completely or keep working with light weights? So the truth of the matter is there's many different ways to deload. You can do a combination of things, or you can just do one of these things. So let me give you a couple different ways that you can take a break from your training. And the reason that we take a deload is so that we can actually recover and so that we can experience the training effect. So if you're just training, never recovering, then your body doesn't grow, it doesn't get stronger, it doesn't get bigger. That's why we need to take a break. Now this is going to apply differently to different levels of fitness. I'll explain that in a moment. But for most people, you want to apply one of these different methods of deloading. One thing you can do is just take a full week off. Nothing. Don't go to the gym. You can do some light activity. That's one method. Another thing you can do is a half week off. So that would be another method. Another thing you could do is like an active recovery week where you reduce the volume by about 40 to 50% of your normal workout, and you also reduce the loads by about 40 to 50%. And you would do this at different intervals, again, mainly dependent on your training age, which we'll talk about. So again, this is a big topic, and the bottom line is that you incorporate some form of deloading into your program. Essentially what we're doing is we're just taking a break. So if you're not taking a break from your training, you're never going to progress. Every professional athlete does this. So if you're not, you're gonna really just experience a lot of fatigue. Your body won't super compensate and you'll get stuck. So what I have found is that the longer you've been training, the more frequently you need to deload. So for a complete beginner, let's qualify a beginner as somebody who's only trained for about a year. Because he hasn't put a lot of stress on his body, he could probably get away with 12 to 16 weeks of training straight, no problem, no need for a deload until probably 12 to 16 weeks. Somebody who's an intermediate lifter who's trained maybe 1 to 4 years, you'll want to take a break every 8 to 12 weeks. And somebody who is advanced, somebody who's been training for more than 4 years consistently, you'll find that you'll benefit from deloading once every 4 to 8 weeks, using any of those methods that I shared or a combination of them. For those of you who are a part of Hypertrophy Max or 12-month muscle building program, this is what we do for our Hypertrophy Max clients. They take 1 week off every 4th week. So they train hard for 3 weeks, and then we reduce the volume and the load for a week. Train hard for 3 weeks, back off for a week. Train hard for 3 weeks, back off for a week. And that's how we deload for an entire 12 months. So the bottom line is that you use some form of backing off. And then when you come back to the gym, you'll find that your nervous system, your immune system, your metabolic system, hormonal system, they've all had a chance to recover and you'll return fresh. Now, a lot of you, and I want to just wrap this video up here, are making a huge mistake. And a lot of people say, well, you know, this is too complicated, I don't want to incorporate this, I just take a break when I feel like I need to. And the problem with that, the problem with not anticipating when you're fatiguing is that you end up having crappy workouts for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. So if you know your body fatigues every 4th week, why wouldn't you plan the deload every 4th week? So by predicting and knowing when you get tired, if you can pre-plan your deload week, you'll find that you always come back fresh and you prevent those, 2 or 3 stale weeks where you're like, holy crap, I haven't made any gains for 2 to 3 weeks. I probably need a week off. Well, yeah, you should have planned a deload week 2 to 3 weeks ago, anticipated that, so you could have had uninterrupted training and always, make progress. Does that make sense? All right, so I hope that was helpful. This is a very important concept. I actually never really utilized this in my early years of training, but the take-home lesson here is to pre-plan some form of break in your training, whether it's every 4 weeks, every 8 weeks, or every 16 weeks. It really is most important that you just do this, or else you're going to plateau, you're going to burn out, and you're not going to make uninterrupted gains all year round. All right, guys, if you guys have any further questions on how to deload properly, leave them below. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel too, so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.